Taylor's gonna kill me for not knowing
I
that.
think people would be surprised that you listen to Taylor Swift.
I think I've said it. Yeah, I mean, it's just I have her, like, some of her older songs in my playlist.
Hold on to your popcorn because the worlds of pop culture and football collided in some truly entertaining ways recently. First up, Kim Kardashian shocked a few fans by tossing Taylor Swift some unexpected praise, revealing she's actually a Swift listener and calling her super talented. Peace vibes, finally.
I've always thought she's like a super talented, great artist.
Then there's Travis Kelce, who proved even NFL stars aren't immune to missing the obvious, totally fumbling a reference to his own podcast in Taylor's song Wood and giving fans a laugh.
What does that mean? What's a man hoodie? Is that a thing?
New heights of
Are you familiar with man hoodie?
Meanwhile, Taylor and Kylie Kelce were spotted hanging out, laughing and joking like old friends, showing the engagement has already smoothed the family dynamics. And finally, Travis stirred hope among Chiefs fans by sharing his excitement over Eric Bieniemy potentially returning as offensive coordinator, hinting he's not quite done with football yet.
I can't wait to see him back in the building, man. He's one of my favorite coaches of all time, one of my favorite people of all time.
Kim Kardashian is giving Taylor Swift her flowers, casually, publicly, and without a single dramatic pause. Yep, that Kim, the same one whose name has been attached to Taylor lore for over a decade, and yet here we are. Kim popped up on Khloe's podcast recently, and in a moment that felt almost suspiciously chill, made it clear that the so-called bad blood might actually be lukewarm at best. When the topic of Taylor came up, Kim didn't dodge, deflect, or change the subject. Instead, she leaned in and admitted that people might be shocked to know she actually listens to Taylor, and not just the chart-smashing anthems, but some of the older stuff too. Deep cuts energy.
I think people would be surprised that you listen to Taylor Swift.
I think I've said it. Yeah, I mean, it's just I have her, like, some of her older songs in my playlist.
According to sources, Kim made it sound like this wasn't some new PR-approved discovery either, but something she's mentioned before that just never really stuck. She also made it very clear that she's always seen Taylor as seriously talented and a genuinely great artist, which, coming from Kim, is basically a peace treaty wrapped in a compliment.
I've always thought she's like a super talented, great artist.
Of course, this all hits different because everyone remembers where the drama started. The tension traced back to Kim's marriage to Kanye West, and the moment that launched 1,000 pop culture think pieces when he hijacked Taylor's VMA speech in 2009.
Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
And while Travis was probably somewhere processing all of that with a laugh and a headshake, it also reopened the never-ending question of how this whole Taylor and Kim saga even spiraled in the first place. This wasn't some pre-planned celebrity rivalry waiting to happen. It was more like Kim getting accidentally drafted into a pop culture war she didn't sign up for. She happened to be married to Kanye West at the time, and when you're married to someone who lives for chaos, you inherit the chaos too. Kim went into full ride-or-die mode, defending her then-husband, even though that decision would come back to haunt her internet mentions for years. Things really blew up again in 2016 when Kanye dropped Life of Pablo and casually tossed Taylor's name into a lyric that instantly set the internet on fire. Taylor was blindsided by how she was referenced and quickly shut down the idea that she had approved being talked about like that. Kim, on the other hand, publicly backed Kanye's version of events and insisted Taylor had given the green light. That's when the vibe officially went from awkward to nuclear. Suddenly, social media turned into a snake pit, literally with emoji receipts flying around it like it was a competitive sport. That moment locked the feud into pop culture history. Taylor went quiet, Kim went louder, and fans on both sides picked their teams like it was the Super Bowl. The situation wasn't just gossip anymore, it became a defining moment in how celebrity narratives are shaped online. Kim genuinely believed she was standing up for her marriage at the time, while Taylor felt her reputation being dragged for sport. Nobody was backing down, and the internet made sure neither of them could forget it. And while that whole chapter reminded everyone how chaotic pop history can get, the spotlight quickly swerved to Travis accidentally exposing himself as very much not a full-time Swiftie scholar. The Chiefs star had a mini oh-no moment on the New Heights podcast when it became painfully clear that a very obvious Taylor Swift reference had completely flown over his head. The irony? The lyric in question literally nodded to his own podcast. You truly can't make this stuff up. It all went down during the brothers' casual new news segment when a fan suggestion for merch left Jason Kelce staring into the void. Jason read out a hoodie idea with a name that made absolutely zero sense to him, and insiders say his confusion was so genuine it could have been framed. Travis, instead of swooping in with confidence, just sat there quietly realizing he was also lost. The energy instantly shifted to two grown NFL legends having the same confused look people get when their kid explains TikTok slang.
And I love the green hoodie, but I can't believe none of the new hoodies are called New Heights of Man Hoodie. I don't know what the fuck that means, but she's disappointed. What does that mean? What's a man hoodie? Is that a thing?
New Heights of Man
Are you
Hoodie?
familiar with man hoodie?
That's when the producer stepped in like a substitute teacher restoring order, explaining that the phrase tied directly back to a lyric from Taylor's 2025 track Wood. The explanation hit Travis like a delayed blitz. There was a pause, a blink, and then the realization that, yes, his fiancée had cleverly planted an Easter egg about his own podcast, and he somehow missed it.
I'll just say, it's a Life of a Showgirl reference, boys. Come on.
Man hoodie?
To the lyric, New Heights of Manhood. It is the time we were referenced in the album.
All right.
Travis reportedly joked that Taylor would absolutely roast him for not catching it, which feels accurate considering Swifties still catch things hidden in album liner punctuation.
Taylor's gonna kill me for not knowing that.
Jason, for his part, leaned all the way into the confusion. He openly admitted that decoding Taylor's lyrical breadcrumbs is not exactly in their skill set. Travis agreed, noting that Swift fans are basically trained professionals when it comes to spotting these things, while the Kelce brothers are more read the headline and move on types, and honestly, good.
We're not as good with the Easter eggs as these Swifties.
They sure know how to plan them and call them out.
This moment perfectly sums up Travis and Taylor's dynamic right now. He's fully supportive, proudly obsessed, and still somehow manages to miss the most obvious references tied directly to his own life. Meanwhile, Taylor continues playing chess while everyone else plays checkers, embedding layered meanings into lyrics that fans dissect like final exam material. Interestingly, there is one Kelce who absolutely gets the Taylor Swift assignment, and that's Donna Kelce. Mama Kelce proudly embraced her Swiftie era, especially when one of Taylor's songs became her personal hype anthem during her reality TV stint. She even put her own motivational spin on the lyrics, turning them into a life mantra that perfectly fit her competitive spirit. Even after her early exit from the show, the vibe was very much main character energy.
Ordinary traitor, you're about to become my secret traitor.
Oh, that's devilish. I know, I'm the sacrificial lamb. But I think I'm gonna go, but you got yourself a traitor!
And with all that energy still hanging in the air, attention drifted to a much softer, far more wholesome moment when Taylor and Kylie Kelce crossed paths in New Orleans and instantly looked like two people who had already passed the awkward stage. The meetup felt easy, natural, and very "we've done this before," which tracks considering Taylor is now fully folded into the Kelce family orbit post-engagement. The two were spotted sharing hugs, laughing like old friends, and clearly enjoying a rare pocket of calm where no one needed to perform for anyone else. The vibe wasn't stiff or overly polite, but warm and genuinely relaxed. Kylie, who's famously no-nonsense and refreshingly unfiltered, reportedly brought her usual grounded energy, while Taylor leaned into her off-duty low-key mode. There was a lot of casual joking, the kind that only happens when you're comfortable enough to not think twice before laughing a little too loud in public. No forced smiles, no PR choreography, just real interaction. What stood out to people watching closely was how natural the dynamic looked. This wasn't a pop superstar cautiously bonding with her future sister-in-law, but two women clearly on the same wavelength. Taylor seemed completely at ease around Kylie, and Kylie looked just as unfazed by Taylor's global fame, which honestly might be the highest compliment of all. The engagement seems to have erased any remaining formalities, replacing them with familiarity and mutual respect. And while Taylor and Kylie were busy proving that future sister-in-law vibes can be effortless and full of laughs, Travis was playing the what's next game with the Chiefs, giving fans a glimpse into what might be coming for him on the field. The tight end sounded genuinely hyped when discussing the possible return of Eric Bieniemy to the Kansas City coaching setup, and the way he described it, you could practically see him bouncing in his chair like a kid on a sugar high. According to sources, Travis made it clear he's all about the energy Bieniemy brings, not just X's and O's, but the personality, the drive, and the moments that make a team click.
I ask everybody, come on in, see who's standing up in front of our offense, getting us ready for situational football, who's in front of us week in, week out at halftime trying to make adjustments, who is the guy that's rallying this group and has the emotion as a player and as a coach to keep us firing as an offensive unit.
On the podcast with his brother Jason, Travis got unusually sentimental too, talking about Bieniemy as one of his favorite people and someone who shaped him not just as a player, but as a person.
I can't wait to see him back in the building, man. He's one of my favorite coaches of all time. One of my favorite people of all time. I've had so many unbelievable, growing moments under him as a player, as a person. I just love the guy, and it's going to be awesome to see him back in the building and see him back wearing the Chiefs.
Fans reportedly went wild online, flooding the podcast socials with messages begging for him to suit up again. And insiders describe the vibe as part nostalgia, part pure excitement, basically every Chiefs fan's dream combo. Travis talked about the growing moments they shared and how much he's looking forward to seeing Bieniemy back in the building rocking the Chiefs logo. The sentiment wasn't just about football strategy, it was the emotional weight of the reunion, mentorship, and camaraderie, all wrapped into one. Meanwhile, the conversation also hinted at Travis's own future, with him being characteristically vague but thoughtful about whether this will be his final season. He admitted that sometimes the decision hits him instantly, and other times he needs space to figure it out, which seems to be par for the course for someone who balances football, family, and a high-profile engagement. His remarks gave fans hope that he's leaning towards sticking around for at least one more run, all while keeping the door open for whatever next chapter life throws at him, on the field or off. Between the Kelce family dynamics, Taylor's supportive presence, and the coaching shuffle, Travis's world is looking equal parts exciting and unpredictable, and fans are here for every second of it. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.